Radio Cairo English International Service presentes Special Program COP27 Egypt 2022.
To the listeners of Radio Cairo, I am Newton Marques, economist from Brazil, and I present the speech of Harryson Luiz da Silva on the importance of the United Nations Conference on Climate Change, which will take place in the city of Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, November 6-18, 2022. Here is the speech. Dear brothers of the universe, first of all, I would like to thank Radio Cairo for the invitation. My name is Harryson Luiz da Silva. I would like to say that I am a servant of the cosmos, that is, of all peoples, cultures, religions, ethics, politics, and morals of different dimensions. Therefore, I work from the perspective of the intertwining of all the principles that unite us around peace and from light. I am a professor at a public university in Brazil with several degrees and recognitions, which put me on the stage of humility to tell you that I fight for science to be an instrument for transforming our reality in an unconditional way. I have participated in the International Network for Environment Conflict Management, LIJCA, and more recently in the International Network for Research on Climate Resiliency, RIPERC, of teacher, research, and a relationship with international communities in the perspective of conflict resolution, collective healing, and process of teaching and learning that do not take into account any kind of fundamentalist and sectarian perspective. I have already left my contribution to water resources management in Algeria through colleagues and friends from the University of Batna in Guinea-Bissau for the Guinean people and Mozambique in the area of ethnobotany, and in South America to Brazil, Paraguay, and Argentina in conflicts in the triple border through para-diplomatic actions, as well as the water courts held in Brazil to provide support to civil society in technical and legal matters. We have been discussing the same problems in different ways since the time immemorial, as if they were novelties, surprises, or unknown challenges. And until now, we continue with some matrices of full action, investigation, intervention, and evaluation that have not made us move towards a common perspective for all. The solution to all problems already exists in all areas, not only of knowledge, but of life, but they are not even taken into account. Because our model of the world is not collective. This prevents inclusive proposals from being put into action. The basis that support public and private international law on climate change actions do not make it possible to reach an effective plan of action for the set of countries and their different levels of ratification or not of international treaties, as well as of the goals of the Paris Agreement. We have been pointing out solutions for the management of environment conflicts for 20 years, as well as more recently, for the management of risks and disasters, which are not even considered in the political sphere of different countries and even in Brazil. We need to have the understanding of who we are, what we think, and what we feel, in an emphatic way to reach a consensus focused on the management of emotions, well-being and quality of life of the entire world population, and that ratify the objectives and goals by the countries to be considered and internalized in a technical structure with a counter of results, which will prevent new situations from growing, such as misery, hunger, which end up eliminating the most vulnerable populations in the poorest countries. That is, we need a new contract global social. Egypt has always been emblematic for its ancestry, and we need to recognize what was forgotten, the ancestral technologies that were forgotten in erased, which could solve many current problems. For this reason, I consider the holding of COP27 in the city of Sharm el-Sheikh historic. Part of the foundations of our civilization centered on the African continent, and especially on Egypt, and I see it as an opportunity to recognize the different times and movements of each culture and its population towards a healthy world. It's time to resume a perspective of a healthy level of development for the entire population of the entire planet. We are on the same planet Earth, and we have to integrate ourselves in our difference to find a consensus, because if any major conflict is established at that moment, we will enter the point of no return. We need to give voice, time, eyes, ears, and especially heart to those who don't have it, and to those who need to develop this social-emotional skill, because they are all part of the same universe and haven't realized it yet. I thank the Radio Cairo team, its listeners, and the people of Egypt, and especially Amyra El Khalili and Mohamed Abd Elkamel, for inviting me to this opportunity. Incha Allah, God willing, Harryson Luiz da Silva.